Hey everyone, welcome to drinknectar.com. I'm your host, Josh Wade, and this is the internet's place to explore the five senses of coffee, and tonight, Michigan wine. The fur is flying, the corks are out, and people are tasting and tweeting about Michigan wine. Got to give some huge kudos and props to Shannon and Courtney Casey from Michigan By The Boggle, organized this amazing event. It's the second event, and also some massive props to Shady Lane Cellars, who sent out 3 wines to several folks, offered penny shipping to a lot of people, all to get the word out about one of the other 46 states besides the big 4 that produce wine. We started off with this Riesling, dry Riesling 2008 estate-grown fruit. I know nothing about Michigan wine. Super excited because tonight I'm learning a lot just watching the tweets go by as they're flying through on here. People are talking about the aroma, the acidity. We've got a great blogger with Lynn Thompson from New York Cork Report. Very light in color, a lot of kind of bubbles in there, sparkling effervescence. Let's give it a sniff. Very, very flowery perfume, a little bit of apple and some yeastiness in there. And someone mentioned some honey, which I kind of get that, some honey in there. So let's give it a sip. It's going to be dry. Definitely dry. It's on my side of things for a Riesling. A great acidity on the back end. It's just kind of clearing out my mouth right now. The finish is lingering. I'm not into sweet wine, and so I'm really pleased that this is more of that dry, little tart in there, kind of like a Granny Smith apple once you've bitten into it and you've let it settle in your mouth. Overall, one of the better Rieslings that I can remember having that I enjoy for only $15. So here we go. I'll read one from the winos. Almost an apple blossom thing on the back of the nose. Apples and floral, maybe a apple herbal tea. That's very interesting. Love listening, watching the tweets. You learn a lot about the regions. Strongly encourage you to participate in a tasting tweet. If you've never done one, it can be a little intimidating as the tweets are flying by really fast. But you will be surprised at how much you learn about a wine and about other people's palates. All right, so we moved on to the second wine in this taste and tweet from Michigan, and this is the 2007 Pinot Noir, 100% Pinot from Michigan, of course, Shady Lane Cellars. And looks like we've got some interesting takes on this wine, a little smoke on the nose, a little bit of earthiness. I don't really detect a lot of that earthiness. It has definitely your traditional translucent Pinot color on the tawny port, kind of brownish side, a little in there. For me, I got some sweet candy, and there's like a sourness that's just right on the back end that I can't quite pick out what it is. You know, some people are definitely, well, here we go. Pinot has a distinct aroma puzzling us. We've got some other thoughts of baking spices, definitely candied, people are saying. So interesting that I love listening to the different takes, because after a while you start to see there's a general consensus that people do come to some similar tasting themes. So I'm going to give this a taste. For me, it's a slightly off balance. Definitely get some fruit in there, and you've got like this attack that it just doesn't feel quite right. There's like this initial little earthy, maybe it's like a dirty, earthy attack, just right on the, I get it kind of on the upper side of my mouth here, but the acidity is pretty strong, so it'd be great with food. Definitely not like an easy drinker. There's some great tannins in the back end. You can feel your mouth kind of giving that pucker that some people, equate tannins with. I'm not a huge Pinot Noir fan. $22 though, definitely better than a lot of $30 and $40 Pinots that I've had out of Oregon and California. All right, so we moved on to the final wine, which I was most excited to try tonight because I have a lot of great experience with Blue Franc / Lemberger. This is the 2008 Shady Lane Cellars Lemberger, 100%. Estate fruit as well, and I always describe Lemberger as being like a Pinot on steroids, and it's that light that light translucent color, but it's extremely bright and purpley, if that's a word. Very bright. I wish I had a color wheel sometimes so I could show you kind of where it is on the color wheel. The nose is pretty tight, have a little bit of earthiness coming through in there, some minerality that I think, for me, I just think I get a similar kind of minerality across all three of the wines. Yeah, it's interesting because you get very few people talking about the nose, which I think is indicative of the fact that this is slightly tight on the nose of that. So I do get spiciness that some people picked up, just a little bit of pepper, but not a lot of fruit forwardness on the nose. But let's give it a sip. So once again, high acidity on the back end of this wine. Same across all three of the wines. Definitely more of a food-friendly wine on that side. A little thin. You get a tartness, really. This time the tartness for me is just on the front end. And like a tea quality is, maybe thinking black tea in there with a little bit of kind of cherry and blueberry kind of flavors in there, but not overly fruit forward. Not sure the retail price on this wine, but it's a good wine. Some people are saying it's their favorite of their three. Have a description here of a roasted coffee, secondary aroma, kind of a smokiness. So very interesting to get here. Overall, awesome night tonight, Shannon. Michigan by the Bottle. Courtney, you guys have a phenomenal event. I watched kind of on the sidelines the last time you did one of these, and I just see a lot more activity happening online through the tweet stream. So we'll see if we can't get some statistics up for you. But life is always meant to be enjoyed with friends, whether it's virtual friends or in real life. And for me, it's just been a total kick to share this experience with all of my new friends. So cheers and drink happy.